Everybody, you know what time it is. It is Sippin' with Sue time. I am Szu-Moy, and we have made it through another fantastic, wonderful week. It is Friday, so I hope you guys are letting your hair down, grabbing your drink, getting ready for happy hour, getting ready to hit the road, whatever it is you're going to be doing. But getting ready to enjoy the weekend because I am too. So I'm all glad like everybody's here and super excited to get this weekend started. If you're joining us for the first time, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get all of the latest notifications as soon as they happen. So this week, we are, of course, the premise for this show is chatting with real people doing real things extraordinarily. And again, we are not only at the end of another fabulous, amazing week, but we are also at the tail end of an 8-day celebration known as the Festival of Lights. And this week we have the pleasure of chatting with Staci Markowitz Dial about the Jewish festival Hanukkah. So welcome, Staci.
All right, thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good, great, thank you. Actually cooking for Hanukkah tomorrow.
Yay, yay. So I didn't bring up, because usually I'm like, cheers to the weekend, and I have my glass in hand. So for all of you guys that don't know, what I have right now is Manischewitz, which is, this one is blackberry. So I've got a blackberry one, and I've never had blackberry. I think all I've had is grape.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's always usually grape.
So they have flavors now. So I'm going to go ahead and have some wine here to cheers to the weekend with you guys. And so cheers to you all. Yay! So, oh, this smells good. Hold on. I like it. Hold on.
It's actually not awful. I mean, it's not a fine glass of wine, but it's not awful.
Super sweet. Yeah, it's like super sweet. I think my mom likes Manischewitz. Yeah. So she's really going to like, so again, I've had grape before and I've never had this blackberry, and she is going to love this because it is like sugar, and she is like a sugar lady. She likes the sweet stuff. So to just get things started and to let folks know, let's just have a little bit of background and, where you're coming from and just a little bit about you so that folks can get acquainted with you.
Okay. Sorry, I keep looking off into the distance. I'm home, and my daughter is helping me bake for our Hanukkah party tomorrow. So I can see her right through the pass-through of my kitchen. Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan. Both of my parents were Jewish. My entire family was Jewish, actually. And it wasn't until my generation that we brought in, non-practicing Jewish people into our world. And and here we are. So now I do both holidays in my household. My husband is not Jewish. And so we have Hanukkah and Christmas. So it's really fun. Yeah.
It's a never ending party, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love the holidays so much. I love the food. I love the food. I love being with all my friends. That's my favorite. It's my favorite time of year for sure.
Awesome. So tell us what is Hanukkah?
So Hanukkah is the celebration of lights. And so, back in the day when the Israeli lights were fleeing again and they only thought they had oil to last them for one night, it actually lasted them 8 nights in the desert. And so that's why we celebrate for 8 nights.
Awesome. And so it was really important back then because oil was revered as something really the lifeline, right?
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha. So so I know you're cooking. What are some of and we'll get to probably food in just a minute, but what are some of the things that you do in preparation of Hanukkah, or that maybe you've experienced when you were growing up, some of the different traditions and things that you did for those 8 days?
So most families, or at least in association with myself, Hanukkah is generally celebrated on the first and second night of Hanukkah. I don't know why. It just is. Like, I'm doing it on the 7th night just because of timing. But generally speaking, when I was growing up, like I said, you had your dinner on the first night and or the second night, or both, between families. And Hanukkah, unlike Christmas, there's not a lot of decorating. We have, our menorahs
Mhm.
and in which where we light the candles. And maybe you have a few stars and decorations, but that's really it. We actually, I don't know where it is. We actually do a Christmas tree as well. And I
Uh-huh.
have my Star of David on top.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's yeah, actually even when I was growing up, we had my dad called it a winter solstice tree. And we always had a Christmas tree as well when I was a kid.
Awesome. Very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
So then, so you're, so you, some of the pictures that you showed me, you had, so do you have, did you make that menorah that you had put in there, or is that something that you bought? Because it was painted.
Oh, so there's two different menorahs. One, the wooden one, excuse me, and with just the brass tops. That one was my dad's. It was the one I grew up with, actually. And then
Awesome.
the painted one is this beautiful artist, ceramic artist did it, and my husband bought it for me years ago.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then, so what have you brought in your daughter, in as far as some of the traditions? And or did you make any of your own that were different from when you were growing up?
No, no, actually. I mean, I can't really say. I mean, we always have really big dinners. It's really important. I love my friends are my family. I don't have a lot of family down here. And and lighting the menorah every night, and then we do our little gift. And generally speaking, during Hanukkah, it's not unbeknownst to most people, it's not like these like Christmas Day every day. Usually what you get and or give is something very small, like token worthy, and that you just get every day. And then maybe at the end, like the last day or the first day, you get something a little larger. I mean, again, that's the way we did it.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, of course, when it comes to any type of celebration, there's always a nice big feast. So you said you're cooking. So what are the specific foods that you prepare for Hanukkah?
um she just asked me, "Oh, are you making kugel?" So I'll start with that. So kugel is kind of it's served with main course, at least the way we do it. Every family has its own recipe, and it can either be noodle or potato. I prefer the noodle version, and it's like a noodle custard, and then it's got the topping. It's like a crunchy, sweet cinnamon sugar topping on it, and it's baked, and it's delicious. So it's
That
kind of
sounds good.
it's like dessert, but the way I make it anyway, I make a sweet noodle kugel. But like I said, everybody does their own thing.
Mhm.
Matzo ball soup, which is like a big chicken noodle soup with basically the equivalent of dumplings, but made out of matzah meal. It's matzo ball soup is the best. It makes everything right in the world. And then and then potato latkes. That's the other really big traditional dish that you have during Hanukkah, and it's fried potatoes. It's like grated potato and onion, and I use a little matzah meal and egg, and then you make little patties and you fry them, and then you serve it with applesauce and or sour cream.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is my
Yes.
favorite part of Hanukkah is the food.
Yes, always
Yeah.
the food for sure. Potato latkes is something that I've eaten for a
Oh, you
long
have?
time as well. Oh yes, oh yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yes. And I've had them in Germany. I've had them in New York when I lived there.
Yeah,
And yes, served with applesauce is the best.
they're the best. Oh my
The
gosh.
best, and it's so good. And it's funny. I had my husband. We went to because they have the potato latkes there, and we went to one of the Christmas market stalls. They have the little stalls out there where they're cooking their food or they're making their glue wine. And he's like, I was like, oh my gosh, potato latkes, we gotta have some. He's like, what's that thing on the top? I was like, it's applesauce. And he goes, okay. And then he took a bite. He's like, oh no, I can't do this. I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's so
Yeah.
delicious.
I prefer applesauce, and but a lot of people don't like the the sweet with the savory like that. I
Oh,
think
I
it's
do.
perfection personally. So
I do. I do.
yeah.
And is there anything specific to the preparation of the food, or because I know that it has to be prepared a certain way, or when it comes to you, it's prepared a certain way. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually can't really speak much on that because I did not grow up kosher, keeping a kosher household,
Okay.
and nor do I keep a kosher household. And, you know, my husband loves bacon. He calls it nature's perfect food. So, in a Jewish home, it's, not the best. but
Gotcha.
but we
Gotcha.
do both here, like I said, and so yeah, yeah.
I love it. All right. So then, so how do you celebrate within your family? Because I know you said you're preparing
Mm.
for a big party and you've done this for many years. So is that your tradition that you do, and some of the other things that you do within your family?
Yeah, so generally, as everybody, it's become like BC, before COVID. Um, so ridiculous, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That I would have a proper sit down dinner
Mhm.
and, do that. But I think everybody's so excited this year to just kind of, for lack of a better term, to be normal. And
Mhm.
at least where we are, it's decent, and everybody's taking precautions and taking care of themselves, but everybody's excited to be out. So I decided this year we're just doing a big open house, a big Hanukkah open house, and latkes will be going the whole time, and then people can just they'll just come and go. And then we usually light the candles, like our little family. Like, my daughter lights the candles, and we do our gift before people arrive. And then every evening we usually do it, generally after dinner. So
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and then you plan on having like a bunch of people there, and I think you were talking about that. It's also a good way to expose your traditions
mm,
to people that don't know anything about it.
yeah. No, I wish you lived closer. You could come.
I know, and I would be
um,
eating like crazy.
oh my gosh, yeah. No, it's really fun. I love my friends, and no, there should be like 30 or 40 people coming, maybe, and yeah, just to relax and yeah, just celebrate the end of this crazy year, huh?
Yes, extremely crazy. Because like last year, I mean, I started this show as just like me on my cell phone, like going live. And then I was like, let me put on a platform and let me not just talk about myself or what I think I want to talk about. Let me talk to other people because everybody has like a wonderful story. And
Mm,
so let's get that story out there, or whatever it is that you're doing out in your neck of the woods. And so, um, and it was because, again, 2020, we spent most of the entire year, at least for myself and my
mm,
husband, we spent from March all the way until December inside the house.
yeah.
And we saw very limited folks. We had his family come out here, but it was like a shakedown when they got here. It's like, okay, we're Cloroxing everybody that just came in, and just it was like crazy. And so when we rolled from 2020 to 2021, it was like, okay, phew, we're done. We've made
Yeah.
it through this
Yeah.
year, and we're moving on, and we're that's the past, and it's behind us. And it's actually not, because we're going into 2022 and we've got a new variant out there, and we're like, what is it? It is the never ending
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
It's really bonkers. And like
Mhm.
you being in Texas,
Mhm.
need I say more? I'm in Florida. So, um, I know
We're a
my,
little more liberal.
yeah, um, I know my friends and I, fairly like-minded, to each their own, whatever you
Mhm.
want to do out there. But, we all decided to be vaccinated.
Yep.
And, so, and I work. I take care of my mom. I'm her sole caregiver, and I also work. So, the exposure is there, here in crazy Florida.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But I mean, exactly to everybody's comfort level, and you're
Yeah.
taking your precautions and doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to now. I mean, it is a little bit more open. It's definitely not how it was like last year. And so going into 2021, going into 2022, we have more people over, and we're just getting that interaction that we miss so
Mm.
dearly.
I love it so much. It's I love like I said, I love the holidays. I
Mhm.
was a chef for 15 years, and
So were you doing every type of food, or were you just doing every
yeah,
type of food?
yeah, no, I my husband and I worked on mega yachts for 15 years.
Wow.
And he was the captain and I was the chef. So I hate to use this, but like if you've seen Below Deck, then I think it's on Bravo or something. It's, reality show about crew
Mhm.
on a yacht. So
Okay.
that was kind of our lives. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for years.
awesome. Yeah, my husband, every time we go to the Bahamas, he's just like, babe, how about this one? And how about this one? I was like, oh my gosh, dude. I was like, when you win the lotto, maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
No, it was listen, if you can't afford it, it was just as good, honestly. We had the most beautiful life working on the boats.
Mhm.
Not always like that, but we just got really lucky, and we worked for lovely people. We traveled so much, and so we got to live on the other side,
Mhm.
and get paid to do it. So it was awesome.
Sweet. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Where
Wow.
where in the Bahamas do you all go?
So we always go to Atlantis.
Okay.
We were actually introduced to that beautiful little gem of a location
Mm,
from our good friends and their parents, and
mm,
so they were going there every year, and then they showed us that area, and we were just like, "Wow, this is so fantastic!" And we've been, I think, around I think about 4 times, maybe 4 or 5 times.
wow.
Yeah, and so it's I think that's right, 4 or 5 times. But it's when my husband is an islander, so he's from Guam. So
Oh,
anytime he can get to the ocean and the
yeah.
beach, he is in his happy place. And
Me
so
too.
it's a quick flight. Well, he loves Tampa too, so he's just like, my friends are in
Amazing.
Tampa. Yeah, he's just like, and my sister's in Tampa too, so he's like, oh, my friends are in Tampa. I love Tampa. I love the beach, and
Uh,
and it's where he came from before he came to Texas, which is landlocked. And this is where I was stationed in the military, and so
oh, wow.
he came over here, and so you know, uh, there's no beach here. Sorry, babe. I was like, there's lakes.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I don't think my husband and I could live not near the ocean. I'm like a mile and a half in. So,
Yeah.
and then the Bahamas. But next time you go to the Bahamas, make sure you go to the Exumas if you haven't been already, because it's just the most stunning place you'll ever see.
So
Like
is that
that.
one of the islands that's off of
Yeah,
Nassau?
so yeah, it's no, not off of Nassau. It's just south of Nassau, and
Okay.
it's a good distance.
Mhm.
And but they have like fast ferries, and you can stay. There's resorts, and well, I use that term very loosely, but like in Staniel,
Mhm.
which is a smaller island, but it's sincerely like we've been to Tahiti, we've been all over the place,
Mhm.
and the that part of the Bahamas, the Exumas, is just seriously the most beautiful place on earth. Truly. Yeah,
Huh.
like swimming
Okay.
pool water. Yeah, it's stunning.
Because we went to so for the we escaped 2020 and decided to go into 2021 and hop on a flight so we can ring in the new year 8 hours earlier than
Mm.
everybody here in Texas. So we went to Dubai, and then from Dubai we went to the Maldives, which we had never been to the Maldives
Ah,
before.
amazing.
And so that is probably one of our best beach locations to date. And so I don't know if you've been to the Maldives and just
No, not yet.
compare. Okay, okay. And then heard from other people like Seychelles and some other places, and I'm like,
Mm.
okay. I'm like, bucket list, bucket list, bucket list.
I know.
I'm adding them all up. So my notes is Exuma, Seychelles. Okay, got
Yeah. No, it's
it.
I know that is it sounds like yours as well. My husband and I, we've been together for almost 30 years. And
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's amazing.
I know it's crazy. And yeah, so next year will be our 30th. And so I met him. I'll be 50. I'll be 50 as well. So I met him when I was 20. But all we've done is travel all
Awesome.
over. We travel with our daughter all over the place,
Mhm.
and I just want things to just be safe again for everyone, so that we can
Mhm.
just. I need to I need to travel again.
Yeah, I mean, I say that, but we've actually been go go go, and we've
Mm.
had our suitcases not fully unpacked
No,
uh,
same,
the
same.
whole year. So, and it's we get our vaccination, and then we do all of our, testing and stuff before we hit the road.
Same.
But it's just,
Good.
we just love, I mean, that's one of our things. It's exactly the same. We absolutely love to travel. The world is small, and there's so many places and cultures and people and food and things that we haven't seen or experienced that we just want to get out there and do. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Truly, truly. I think I wish everybody could travel just a little bit outside of the country. Even like I've met a few people of late that they're in North Carolina. She had never been on a plane before. She was 42 years old and had never been on a plane, and not judging at all. I just, feel so privileged that my life took me in a way that I could just experience so much travel and then do it on my own as well. Because I think you just, you just develop so much as a person, and getting to know other cultures and realizing how much privilege we have here.
Yes, I agree. Definitely, for sure. And there's a lot of the traveling that both my husband and I were able to do, of course, was in the military. I spent 20 years in the service, and then he spent 12 years in the service. And so we did a lot of traveling, and my son was in tow the entire time. So same. And he grew up, going to places that the kids here in the US read in books.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a tough life being, a military, being a military brat, as what they call the kids. But at the same time, he learned so much and got to see so much. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Where's your favorite place that you've been?
Okay, so I have a few, and for different reasons. So we love Dubai. My husband and I both love Dubai, just from like the technology standpoint and what they've done to the desert, basically. They've done all of these like crazy things, and then they still have their old ways. If you go further in it and get to tap into the old part of Dubai as well. So love Dubai. Love Thailand because it's cheap. It's beautiful. The food, I mean, the people, the language, everybody speaks English. They speak it with an accent. So it just takes your ear a little bit of time to get attuned to it. But outside of that, I mean, it's just easy to get through water taxi, through car, through tuk-tuk, through train. Their public transportation in Bangkok is so easy to use. So it was easy to get everywhere.
That is the densest city. And
correct.
Like you, I've been to many places. That is one of the densest. We were staying, I don't even know where we were staying downtown. We were in Bangkok somewhere, and I went and took a private cooking class. And it took like over an hour to get there. But I mean, it just felt like we were going through like the densest city for an entire hour. Like there was no difference in scenery for an hour.
Yes. That's how we felt too. We were driving and driving. It's just like, no, we're still in Bangkok.
Oh my gosh, never have I seen, and I've been to China, and I've never seen that before.
Yes, but it's so different too, because they have the animals, they have the mountains, they have the sea, they have the city life. So it was really neat. So I love it for all of that, and I absolutely love the people and the food, and then New Zealand. So that's my top three. New Zealand is for the adventure seeker and nature lover. There's no place I haven't been anywhere else yet. And again, the world is small, and I'm still checking off those places. But New Zealand is definitely, it was our honeymoon. So it's got a nice place in our heart. And anywhere in Europe, always just, it feels like going back home. So
my daughter was born in Nice, actually.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. We were kind of still on the boats. Me, not so much, but we were there on a boat, and it was going to be in Nice. So we decided to be there. So we had her say hi.
Hi.
I know. Just a couple more minutes. Okay, just okay. Like, okay.
I love
Um,
it. I love it. That's
we're,
fantastic.
we're baking tonight, so it's very exciting around here.
Oh
Lots
yes, and
of,
she's probably like, I'm ready to like get the finished product so I
I know,
can eat
I
it.
know. She is dying
Oh
for
my goodness.
it.
Well,
Sweet.
that's awesome. But no, I'm going to just say thank you so much for coming on. I
My
appreciate you
pleasure.
coming on. I got to give a shout out and thank you to Angela because I was basically scouring the entire internet and globe of all of my Rolodex of friends that are Jewish, and nobody was really receptive, or they were busy, or
Oh,
they couldn't do anything. So I appreciate Angela putting me in contact with you, and you able to share a little bit about the Hanukkah and Festival of Lights traditions. So I appreciate
thank
that
you.
so much. It's near and dear to my heart, and I think I told you that from before, because growing up in New York, we actually celebrated all of the Jewish holidays, and we had a lot of history and teachings on the Jewish people, and so it was fantastic to actually just have that as an experience, which is just not, it cannot be done today because of the world we live in.
I know.
So
I
I appreciate the fact that I grew up in New York and had that as something that I was exposed to. So
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
fantastic.
it's fun being around other cultures. I'm happy to hear that you did and that you enjoyed um
Yes.
whatever you were around. I hear very few people ever have anything negative to say because I feel like there are a lot of very religious Jewish people, obviously
Mhm.
Hasidic and everything else, but like my family, everybody's just really relaxed and they want everybody to just be kind and just have like a good day, good food, and come home to your family at night. It's just a nice feeling to pass on to other people. I love it.
I
But
love
thanks
it
for having me.
too.
And if you're ever in Fort Lauderdale, please come.
Oh, definitely. I haven't been to Fort Lauderdale in a while besides driving through when I was younger. So again,
Yeah.
I go to back and forth to Tampa a lot because my husband has friends there and my sister's there, and so it would be great. So if I'm through there, I will let you know
Yeah,
for
please
sure.
do.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So for all of my guests, I always do a just for fun speed round before we head off. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. You ready? All right, so please tell us how to pronounce Knish.
Knish.
And what is that
Um,
delicious thing?
it's kind of like it's meat filled, and you can put it in soup. You can eat it in plain. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
I've never had it with meat. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah,
I've never had it with meat. I've
yeah.
only
Meat.
had it with potato.
Yeah, meat
Is
or
that
potato. It's usually potato,
okay?
and but you can put meat in it too.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I usually have it with potato and a whole lot of mustard.
yeah.
So
Yum.
it's so delicious. Okay, what do the four letters on a dreidel mean?
Oh, you know, look, I have my whole bag of. I have an entire bag of dreidels for the kids. Um, for Hanukkah tomorrow. And oh my God, and I used to play all the time and I actually forgot because I know that was my question. And I'm so sorry, I forgot what they are. But they're numbers. They're not, they represent numbers. And so what you do with the dreidel, you spin the dreidel and you have a little pot and it's usually like we used to use nickels or pennies. You can use what's called Hanukkah gelt, which is like the gold coins,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it's just chocolate coins for the kids, but gelt just means money. And you use those to either put pieces in or take pieces out, and then whoever has the most at the end wins.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And so, awesome.
more
Well,
than you
thank
ever
you.
wanted to know about a
Yeah.
dream.
So, it's a game that you play,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and it could be an adult game too, right?
Well, I suppose. Why
So, okay. So the next question is, how much Manischewitz is too much?
not? Oh, I don't know. Probably after at least just a half a glass for sure.
Okay. Well, I poured kind of a little. Okay,
Yeah.
half a glass is too much. I think we had a bottle one night, and yes, it was a
Yeah.
very bad night and morning. Okay, so what's your favorite holiday and why?
Um, well, actually, I do love Hanukkah because I love the food, but really, honestly, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because it's just a day of being together and food. No presents, no religion. No, not that I'm opposed to any religion, but just it's just a day to enjoy, and that's why I love that.
Enjoy company and
Yeah.
grateful for all that you have. I
Yes.
love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Staci. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming on, and you get back to cooking. I'll let you go and do that. And for everybody else, we will see you next Friday. So take care and enjoy your week.
Bye-bye.